Hey, before we dive in, I want to say thank you for being here. And if you're enjoying these conversations, please take a second to subscribe. It's free and it's one of the best ways that we can stay connected. Sharing and following helps us keep this work going and reach more people that may need this. So hit that subscribe button, share with a friend, and let's keep building this community together. All right, let's get to today's episode. This episode isn't just about looking back at 2025. It's about what 2025 taught me, how to look within. This year reminded me that the hardest work isn't what happens out there in the world. It's what happens inside. It's facing the questions you've avoided, the truth you've buried, and the patterns that keep you stuck. The look within is uncomfortable. It's messy. It's humbling. But it is also where the real change begins. And here's the beauty. When you choose to look within, you don't just find strength. You uncover your calling. You discover the path you were meant to walk. You let the light inside finally shine, and you begin to live the life you were created for. When I think about this year, I realize it's not just about achievements and milestones. It was about the work that nobody sees, the work inside. 2025 pushed me harder than any other year prior. It asked me to stop running from myself. It asked me to stop hiding behind busyness and start asking the harder questions, like who am I? What am I here for? And what does my existence mean beyond the noise? And I'll be honest, those questions are not easy. They don't come with quick answers. They come with resistance. They come with fear. And they come with moments where you just absolutely want to quit. But they also come with clarity, and they come with light, with a sense of purpose that feels deeper than anything you've known before. This year taught me that looking within isn't weakness. It's truly courage. It's the doorway to becoming who you were created to be. Hey, and welcome back to This Tree and Me. I am Cory J. Riggs, and this is Blessed and Grateful Wednesday edition. Today's episode and reflection is titled The Look Within, Lessons from 2025. I just want to take a moment to thank you for being here. Every time you show up, it means something. It reminds me why this work matters. These conversations aren't about perfection. They're about honesty, growth, and becoming. So let's dive in. So it's been a great year. It's been a hard year. And as I said, it's been probably the toughest year of my life. And not in the fact of, marriage was not easy and raising children was not easy. And what I went through when I was a young man was definitely not easy. But this year was the first year that I've truly stopped running from all of it and hiding behind anger and hiding behind a bravado of false image and false ego and all of those things, and just really dig inside and have a commitment to finding the answers, or at least getting an understanding of why I hurt so much and healing. Right? That was the primary goals and focus at the beginning. Is I get why. I understand, I understand why I am where I'm at and how I got here. But why so many years? Why has therapy never worked? Why has, the weight losses before this one never worked? Why has, whatever you want to pick, why hasn't all that worked? I've journaled before. I actually picked up a journal that I've been carrying around here for note-taking during the day, and I had no idea. I looked at the beginning of it, and it's amazing the similarities of what I was writing then to what I'm writing now, as far as what I need to do and how to become a better person and all this kind of stuff. And it really hit me like, I've had this calling before and before and before, so why is this one different? What is making this one stick? What is making this one the calling that I answered? That's a harder question to answer. That may be something that I can never explain. And honestly, does the why really matter? Probably not. The fact that I did is what matters. And being okay with that is hard, because I am a why guy, and I've always wanted to be that kind of why guy, but that's a label. I don't need to know why. I just have to have the faith that it's better for me, and it's real, and I can feel it, and it is different. So let's go through a few things this year. This, like I said, this is so hard this year. Truly digging inside took a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of dedication, and it takes a true want. Not an aesthetic want, not a want because I want to have a better relationship with my children, or I want a girlfriend, or I want a new career. None of that. It's a trueness to yourself that you feel with inside, and an honesty to yourself. Keeping promises to myself is something brand new to me. I have broken promises to myself as long as I can remember. And that's where it all starts. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm learning. Not just the answers don't come from external and outside, right? Being honest to yourself, giving yourself grace, loving yourself, being proud of yourself. Everything starts here. It starts inside of you. It's all in there already. You just got to dig through the freaking muck to go get it sometimes, right? And that's not fun. And that's what this year has been. It's been ugly. It's been beautiful. It's been depressing. It's been encouraging. It's been downright embarrassing. Vulnerable, which I'm not real great at. But it's been the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. And again, I will always say that, take away the birth of my children, things like that, right? I'm talking personally, in my personal life, what I've done for me. Never will I say anything's greater than the birth of my 3 children. That's a whole different thing. And now the birth of, a grandson. So it's just been everything that I hoped it would be. The journey may not have been what I've hoped it would be at all times, but it's been a beautiful trip, and it's not done. And that's the other thing, that this just never stops. I'm in it I'm in it forever until I'm no longer in this human body. I'm in this journey, and this is who I am. This is what I'm becoming, and there is no backing down. There is no turning back. There is no I'm trying to think of the word right now, and it came out of my head, but I'm not going to succumb to anything other than what is truly coming from my heart and what is it's asking me to do. I'm not going to bend on anything for anybody, including myself or anybody. I just will not. It's that important to me. And I want you to find something that gives you that. that just such a want, such a growth that you just can't think of ever living again without it. And that's where I'm at in this right now. I'm not saying it's easy every day. I'm not saying there's still days that I just piss and moan and kick the floor and right? That's part of it. We're human. That ego and that mind is never going to go away. Sometimes it's going to win. It just is. And you have to be okay with that, and you have to understand that. And that some of that kind of stuff is some of the hardest things that I've had to learn over this year, is understanding that I'm not always going to win. I'm not always going to be at my best. The rewards aren't going to come instantly because now all of a sudden I'm doing the work. It takes time. Just like the journey when I started the carnivore diet for the very first time, August 1st, 2022. I will say that date so much that I'm, over time, the people who follow me and stay with me throughout this whole journey, and anytime that anybody joins in and stays for any amount of time, will hear August 1st, 2022. That was literally the day my life changed. And I will never, ever admit that I ever expected it to be here because of that. But it is. And losing that 100 pounds, it took me to a place just of pride, just of self-joy, just of, dude, you can do this. And then my body woke up. And like I said, that took a couple years. It took 2 full years, actually. I mean, there was little hints here and there, but it took 2 full years. And again, my body had to trust me that I was in this for the long haul. That little dude inside that we'll talk about, that's in my gut. We talked about him before, little Rigo. That's where I've learned that he resides. He had to trust me. I've lied to him a lot of times. I've went through therapy. I've lost weight. I've done a lot of things. I've went through this. But it was never for me. And it was never for him. It was never for any part of me other than the ego. And the ego is a part of you. Do not ever forget that. You're not going to kill it. You're not going to get rid of it. It is a part of you. You've created it for a reason. It's understanding why it's there, what it's trying to do, and getting along with it the best that you can. And again, sometimes it's going to win. It's family. Sometimes family's ugly. Just is. So, and then on my birthday, roughly, not this one, but the past one in 2024, is when it really started hitting me hard. Like, I need to journal. I need to do this. There's more to me. There's so much more. What am I missing? Right? My gut is now awake and saying, hey, bud, I'm free again. Can we do something with this? Can I come out of the hiding? Right? Can I be free? Can I be a child again? Yeah, absolutely. And then it really took off in January of this year, where I really dedicated to journaling, to continuing on my fitness journey. And that's really kind of where it started. Journaling was the big start. Again, continuing my fitness was part of it. And then slowly but surely, little things start creeping in. Like, there's more. You're not getting deep enough. You're writing, the journaling was, and I look back at it, the journaling was almost a dictation of a day. And that's fine. That's where I was. That's where I needed to start, because I just needed to start. And it was, I woke up at this time, I did this, I did this. It was literally that. Every now and then a feeling or emotion. But then I started doing some spiritual work on the weekends. And following some meditations and doing some practices that were forcing me to look within. And then that really started ramping up the the pain, the uncomfortableness, sorry about this one. Shit, I do not want to do this. There were some tough times. There were some hard ones. But I stuck with it. I dug in and I said, absolutely not. I'm listening to myself and I'm going to go through with this. And I'm going to find out what I need to find out. And I didn't know what that was. I tried to force it several times. Oh, I want to do this. I want to learn this. I want to go this route. And finally, I just succumbed to, man, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. But the one thing it's not going to be is it's not going to be what it used to be. I'm not going to go back to the anger. I'm not going to go back to the control. I'm not going to go back to the false masks of who I wanted Cory to be and who I wanted Cory to, or people to think Cory was. It's not going back to that. So buckle up, buddy. You're in this. And I just kept marching through it. And I kept studying, and I kept learning, and I kept reading. And then I started writing more than just journaling. And that's when another part of me awoke and said, I like this. This gives me a lot of answers, clarity, freedom. And the funny thing is, and I talk to, when I talk to people about this, sometimes I'll tell them, like, you have to be so honest in your writing. If you're not sharing it right, like I have multiple journals, if you will. But one, no one will ever read that. I feel pretty comfortable saying that, and I don't like the ever and ever kind of thing. I don't see me allowing anybody to ever read that. And I still, when I was writing in that, knowing that that was going to be, and there's more than one now. I mean, it's been a year and I write a lot. But I was judging myself when I was writing a lot of time. And I'd write and I'd try to make it sound like, oh, I wasn't necessarily the bad guy, or oh, it wasn't this bad. Whatever it was, I was always, not always, but trying to put a curve on it, right? And I tell people, absolutely not. Be absolutely freaking honest with yourself. Who else is listening? It's you. You should be able to say anything you want to yourself without any judgment. If you can't, your ego is way too strong. I promise you, it's way too strong in here sometimes. Still, it has moments when I have to stop writing, just like, all right, it's not today. Because my ego is way too involved in the writing and it's just not flowing freely. And what I've had to do is find my ways of getting ready to write, or getting ready to journal, or getting ready to podcast, or whatever it is. I've had to find my mechanisms to get myself in the right mindset. It's not 100%, but it's pretty good. It helps me a lot. Because once the ego gets in there, it's just not honest. And then you're self-judging, and again, you're doing all kinds of things that aren't helping you. It's actually doing quite the opposite. So it's better just to stop, drop the pen, drop the computer, phone, whatever you're typing, writing, reading, whatever you're trying to do, just stop it. It's much better in that moment. Come back to it. Go relax. Go take a breath. Go meditate. Go pray. Go for a walk. Whatever your Zen is, whatever brings you that peace and clarity. I had a young man, which is, it killed me. So I've been mentoring a young man here recently, and we were talking about different things. And I asked him, like, what do you do when you get so frustrated that you cannot deal with it? You're either just gonna at somebody, or you're gonna lose your mind, if you will. Hanging clothes. And I'm talking to young man, not a man at all, right? He's not at that age. Let's say it that way. Hanging clothes. He's like, yeah. And he said there's always clothes to hang in the house. There's always laundry to get done. And he's like, I just go do it and just start doing it and just don't stop till it's done. That's how he clears his mind. Good for you. He found his, and he's a young kid. So that's beautiful. I wish I could have found it when I was his age. So you got to find what works for you, right? It's whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's for you. But you got to be honest with yourself. That was very hard for me for a while. Disgustingly hard for me for a while. Because I still wanted to paint the picture from my ego to myself, which is nonsense, that I'm okay. That I'm doing the work. I'm doing this. And I still get stuck in that. We had the last podcast, right? On exactly that. Of the illusion of progress. The ego's, it's not fun. It's very talented at what it does. We've trained him well. We've done a good job. But we can untrain him. We can train him to do the opposite. We can train him to understand that we're not going to put up with that anymore. It just takes work. So as the year kept going on, I kept getting deeper and deeper into it. And I started meditating a lot. A whole lot in a day. I was grounding, going to my tree, right? The whole reason for all the writing and podcasting and a lot of the work afterwards was that tree found me when I went to try to ground for the first time. And grounding, remember, there's different ways of doing it, but for me, it's getting my shoes and socks off, getting out in some nature, walking amongst the grass, listening to a little meditation, and just being with nature. And there's a tree, and that's what the name of this podcast is from. And it found me. And I just kept going and going and going and exploring. And the other part of this that I learned, because every time I would try to force it down this path, and I would get stuck, I'd have to, again, remind myself, take a breath, step back, look at it. What's it telling you? And it might take me down a different path, but every time I try to force it, nope. But when I just listen, and if you remember the episode, Listen and Follow. Listen and Follow tells you just that. Just listen and follow. Believe what's in your heart. Believe what is coming to you from the universe. Just believe in it. Have faith in it. And as long as you're walking that path, you're going to hit bumps. You're going to make mistakes, but you're going to know. So listening to myself, and not just my heart and my mind and, God and the universe. It's also listening to my gut, little Rigo. That's where the source of my pain comes from a lot. Is that little dude. And that's the little dude who tells me when I'm off track. And back in the past, it was either, it was food, it was chasing relationships, it was whatever. Now it does a little bit of both. Not as much on the food and chasing relationships. Definitely, I'm definitely not doing that now. But I still don't eat horribly, but there's sometimes I'll go get something that I know is not great for my diet, or I eat too much because he's hurting for something, and I don't listen to him and talk to him. But when I do, I get the answer. Then there's other times that I'm trying to go down a path and trying to make something work, or I'm not following that path. I started down a path and I stopped the work, and I get complacent, the illusion of progress, of you're doing good enough, you're doing great, all this. And he'll pipe back up again. I'll get that feeling in my belly. Something's up, not good. I just did it not too long ago with trying to do different things in my diet. We spoke about that. I went back to the carnivore. I took vegetables out. Vegetables and meat just don't mix. On little doses, perfectly fine. But I had to listen to my body. And it wasn't working. since I did that, I started dropping again, and I'm doing great. And I feel great. I'm not tired. I sleep better. Listening to my body in all aspects. Where's the pain coming from? Where's the love coming from? Where's the voices coming from? Right? Where are the messages, I should say, coming from? It's not necessarily voices. Where are the messages coming from? Stop and listen. That's probably one of the biggest. I mean, there's a lot, but that's probably at least top 5. That's the Mount Rushmore, if you will, top 5, whatever. Like, just stop forcing. Quit controlling. Start following. That's massive in my life. What else did this year give me? It's given me so much. Resistant moments are real. They're never going to go away. Again, a lot of this is knowing your limits, listening to your body, and giving yourself grace when it's not great. It's not going to be great every day. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to always be easy. And it's okay. Just get through it. Do your absolute best. Learn from it. How can you change it? How can you adjust to it? Listen. Follow that information. And that's another big hard one for me is, well, I'm doing the work. I should have everything I want now. I'm doing the work. I've been doing it for, well, if you want to go start back to when I first started the diet, but let's just say for the year, where's the rewards, right? The aesthetic rewards is what the ego wants. The reward is just being happy and moving forward and having better relationships and loving yourself more and enjoying your life more and just an overall sense of peace. More so than pain. There's still pain, but the teeter-totter's starting to go the other way. The peace is starting to outweigh the pain. And that's a beautiful thing. Courage. Doing hard things. Stepping into situations because you know it's the right thing to do and not avoiding it. Very difficult for me in the past. Still difficult. It's hard. Courage is hard. It takes courage to stand up and be different. It takes courage to speak your voice. It takes courage to truly be yourself and set the boundaries you need to allow yourself to be yourself. And not all the people around you are going to be okay with it. The ones who love you, it will take them a little bit of time because they do have it tied to your past emotionally. You do have a history. Because of that history, it may take them a little bit longer, just like your body took. Mine took 2 years to realize I'm not going backwards, so I can start healing even more. Same thing. It may take some very little time, it may take some a long time. Some may never come with you. And that's hard. Because it can be lonely on this road. When you want to be your truest best self, and you are following that path and doing what truly makes you happy, and what your calling is in front of you to be, it can be very lonely. And the loneliness becomes just being alone sometimes. And it's okay to be alone with yourself. It's okay to be comfortable with being alone. And then that turns into the people that start surrounding you are the people who are attracted to your vibration and your energy. And now it's a much better world. Because if you remember, there's several times that I've said this. It's not original. It's just very true to me. Winning will cost you everything. but it will reward you with so much more. That is a big one that it rings hard in my head. And what I'm trying to do now is win my life. That's what I'm trying to do. If you want to talk about it, I could use a different word besides winning, but that's the way it was framed to me in what I watched. So I stick with the word. But winning will cost you everything. And the everything is everything you thought was important. Everything that you built to be important. Everything the ego says to be important. But to you, it's real. And to you, it might be scary to lose that partner. It might be scary to lose that friend or that job or whatever it is. It is going to be scary. And it's going to take courage. But if you're doing it for the right reason, if you're listening to your true self, and you're following the flow that the universe is giving you, the rewards on the other side is a big smile, a calm and peaceful nature. Much more so than pain, anger, angst, all that. Because it's never going to be perfect. But I promise you, you can have more wins in a day than you can have losses now. You can have much more true self than ego in a day. And that's a beautiful thing. And I want that for everybody. It's the grandest feeling and prideful thing that I've ever felt in my life over anything, again, outside of my children. Truly. It's beyond belief. It feels good to tell the truth all the time. It feels good to try to be your best and give other people empathy and other people encouragement and other people love. It feels good to do all those things. It stinking hurts inside when all you do is compare and judge and be bitter. And it doesn't have to be massive and big dramatic things. I promise you, all of you can look in your life somehow and see how you're doing those same things. And then if you really look at it and sit with it, you'll find this isn't fun. It feels like crap. And once you turn that corner, you'll really start seeing it. Little doses, and it'll get contagious. It will feed you like you've never been fed before, and you'll just want to run after it. So I invite you to ask yourselves a few questions. Where is your where is your call waiting? Where is your call? Where is it waiting for you? Listen. Find it. You'll hear it. You've heard it before. I know we all have. It's in there, and you've heard it before, and when it gets scary and you start doing something that is truly good for you, that ego kicks in and wants you to go the other way. The harder that ego, the harder that resistance, go down that path. That is the path that you need to follow. Not the easy path. Don't look like everyone, dress like everyone, talk like everyone, eat like everyone. Be yourself. Find yourself. Where is that call waiting? And what happens if you stop running? That's a big one for me. What happens when you just stop running and just sit and listen to yourself? Feel the pain. You have to lean into the pain. It will not get past until you lean into it. You will come to embrace it. You will come to, and I won't say the word enjoy, but you will come to appreciate, respect the pain, because it will give you so many answers, so much clarity. And it will also give you pride. It will also give you confidence. The more you lean into pain, the more competent you get at it. The more competent you get at it, the more confidence you get at it. And that is also contagious. And it sucks. But you will get to a point to where you're like, okay, I don't want to do, I know I need to, I know what's best for me, so I'm just going to lean into it. The resistance is heavy on this. I'm going down that path. I'm going to listen to that message. I'm going to fight that trauma that's inside of me, whatever it is. Listen to that pain. Lean into it. Make it your friend. Ask it questions. It'll tell you what it needs. It'll tell you what's up. Don't fight it. If you fight it, you're going to get in that little battle inside, and then all of a sudden the ego is going to come in and make you feel better than what you need to, and make you say how much better you are than this and that and whatever. Don't fight it. Just do your best, though. You're going to fail sometimes. You're going to miss the mark sometimes. It's going to win sometimes. Do it again, and do it again, and do it again. You'll get through it, one step at a time, right? 1,000,000 steps. I said this on a couple of podcasts a while back. 1,000,000 steps, no matter how small, will outrun 100 steps in a sprint. It takes time, it takes discipline, and it takes courage. And you all have that within you. We all do. Every single one of us have a light inside that needs to shine. So thank you for being here with me today, because this space matters. The conversation matters. And if you stayed with me through this reflection, I hope you hear this. The hardest year of my life taught me something I didn't expect. That the answers I was chasing out there were waiting here inside. Behind the noise, beneath the fear, past the stories I kept telling myself for all those years. Looking within is not easy. I will never say it is. It's not easy. It's raw. It's uncomfortable. It asks you to face the parts of yourself that you've spent years avoiding. Years, for me. It asks me to face them. But when you do, when you finally stop running, you find something that's worth every step of the way. You find your calling. You find the reason you are here. You find the light that's just been buried underneath doubt and shame and survival. And when that light breaks through, it changes everything. It really does. You can probably hear my voice cracking because I can feel it right now. But not because life suddenly gets easy. Oh, I promise you, it just doesn't all of a sudden magically get easy. But it's because you finally know who you are and why you exist. There's nothing more beautiful than finding that answer. So if you are listening and you're tired and you're wondering if this is all worth it, I want you to hear me. It is. Keep going. Keep looking within. The path you're searching for is already inside you. I love you all. Be blessed. Thank you so much for being here. If this message resonates with you, please subscribe, share, and follow. That's how we keep the work moving forward and again, reach more people who may need this. You can also connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook. They're all at Cory J. Riggs, or you can visit my website, CoryJRiggs.com, for more reflections and more episodes. Your support means everything to me, guys. Whether it's sharing an episode, leaving a comment, or just being a part of this journey. I appreciate you. I love you. Be blessed.